Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Object 261, it's the Tier 10 Soviet SPG. This one's on the defending spawn of Sand River Assault, and it's under the command of Sybro2. Was it Sybro? 2sybro2. I don't really know how you can pronounce that one. We'll call him Sybro for the game. Game's on. Okay, 18cm howitzer. It's got 900 alpha and penetrates 45mm of armor. He's got 18 rounds of standard AP, standard HE rather, and 5 rounds of premium. You only get 20 ammo. He's actually showing 18 there. Maybe this was back when there was only 18 rounds allowed on the Object 261. Well, the enemy's turned up already. It's an assault game, so the lights will try to patrol, and the AMX 1390 takes a hit. Tier 10 game, Tier 8 tanks on it, or in it. Okay, some enemy have been spotted, including this Waffenträger auf Panzer IV up on the heights. Remember, those things have got very little armor, in fact no armor at all really. They're very vulnerable. Just trying to work out where it's going. Rounds out. Well, there was an explosion, so we didn't hit him, but lots of the enemy are now coming into sight. Now, it's an assault game, it only lasts 10 minutes, and we've already had at least one of that, 1.25. But there's plenty of targets in sight now. Standard reload time for this Arty is 30.68 seconds, but you can get the reload down to about 24, 23 seconds. If you use premium consumables, and Sybro is not using any premium consumables at all. But he has got an AMX 1390 in his sights there, trying to hide under that bush, but the E100 and Tiger II trying to evict him. There's another AMX 1390. I think we're going to go for the E100. He fires around in, and he hits the 1390 that's actually going past behind the E100. Now, this is the old version of Sand River, where if you look over to the left of the map on the west side, you can see there's no heights there. It was just a solid rock back then. And of course, the routes to actually get into the south area of the map. Oh, he kills the Batchat 12 ton. Now, the routes to actually get into the south area are actually in grid square E0 on the east side of the map. And the other one is actually to come in from the north and go around the rock. So that means you'd be getting in through the pass at B1, down to E1, and then around the rock and to try and attack that way. But of course that's more dangerous because enemy heavies can hole up in that area and stop you from coming around the corner. So it's much easier to do the E0 route. At least one enemy tank has already tried to do that and is over in that corner. We've got a 252 in the riverbed, and there's that Waffenträger auf Panzer IV trying to do some spotting from the heights, and he didn't last very long because an Object 140 saw him and he's out the game. Now, over on the west side we can see the enemy is trying to make a push on that corner in F1. We've got a T69 takes a round for 363, and they're coming around in force as well. So it's not just the T69, we've got an Emil 1 and also a Chrysler Grand Final. That was back when the Chrysler really set the cat amongst the pigeons amongst the content creators and the community contributors, because of course Foch did not like the Chrysler Grand Final, and not the Foch actually, sorry, the Chrysler Grand Final. He actually got very angry about it and said a few expletives in a video and was promptly kicked out of the community contributor team. Okay, we've got a Lerva. Let's see if we can get around into the side. I think that's the colours that Sir Rusty created, that one. Pretty sure. Oh, we've got a bunch of them together. Oh, big hit. Hit the Maushan and the Lerva at the same time. .5.5 minutes gone. Oh, 4.5 minutes gone. 5.5 minutes to go. And the enemy's still struggling to get into the south area of the map. The only person who has tried, and so far succeeded, is an Emil 1, but he's kind of held up by a Tortoise and an ISU 152. And of course, Cybro is firing rounds in to try and assist his teammates from stopping these enemies getting around the corner. Of course, if they get past that corner, then I'm afraid it will be a very quick end to the battle, because normally they storm down straight south through the dunes to clear everyone up. In fact, the enemies failed on the east side of the map. The force that actually went through E0 ended up getting killed. And now the enemy's kind of held up here, and Cybro's taking advantage to shoot them as they line up to try and get shots on our teammates. It's got the side of a carriage there. Is that no Conqueror gun carriage? What am I saying? A Tortoise? What am I saying? Rounds out. Direct hit, 221. Yeah, that Tortoise is not going to be a happy bunny, but the Malshan has just taken out our BK100-01, and now we've just got that Type 5 round there. But he's just taken out the Tortoise, and our Tortoise has managed to get rid of the Emil that was actually moving south. Rounds out. Another hit into the side of the Malshan. We're 3 ahead of the enemy. And we're looking for targets up on the north bank of the riverbed. The E100's still there. There's a AMX 1390 and a T28 prototype. And they've killed all the tanks over on the west side of the map, and now it's just these last remaining enemy over here. There's only 4 of them left now. E100, T28, AMX 1390, and of course their Arty, the GWE100, who's way back in amongst the dunes. 4 rounds left, and their premium ammo. He started on the premium ammo with the last shot that he fired. There's the E100. Okay, he's going to go for the T28 prototype, dialed in, and that guy dies, so he's going back to the E100 and lined it up. Rounds out. Hit the front of the vehicle. 233. Now, I have the feeling that the Object 252U has actually decided he's going to hunt down the Arty, because he's way up in the north, going through the valleys up there, looking for the AMX 1390 and the Arty. Another hit on the E100. Our Lover's getting ready to shoot him, and he's trying to hide behind the rock. Oh, and the Lover just got hit by the 1390. And we lost the Lover to the GWE100, whilst the 1390 got taken out by the 252U. That's the 2-minute hooter. There's only 2 enemies left, their E100 and their GWE100, and that was a direct hit on the E100. So we've only got 1 round left. Our Type 5's moving after the E100, and the 252U is looking for the GWE100. And there he is! He's been spotted! Lighting him up. Oh, dialing it in, and they've killed the E100. This is the last enemy. Yes! With 1 minute 20 seconds left on the clock, they've killed the last enemy with the last round of ammunition in his magazine. So Cybro gets the honours, and that's the end of the game. Let's have a look at the second battle. The second battle is on the Erlenberg map, and it's an M40M43 under the command of KVS2015. Game started. Well, I think you can see there's a Greek flag on the side of this M40M43. So there's a fairly good chance that KVS 2015 is Greek. Now he's decided to go off onto the west side of the map. Arty did like to hide on this side actually, and you could get some good shots on the enemy. and there's still plenty of bushes, and thankfully that T-44's knocked over a few, but KVS is not going to stay here. He's actually going to move right down to the corner. Okay, well, from this position he should be able to hit the magic bush. Now I think you know what I mean when I say magic bush. There's a little bush in line of sight at the moment. I put the cursor over it, where you could actually spot all the enemy tanks right up to the corner, or most of those that were in sight, and get shots on them without them seeing you until it was too late. But KVS has decided he's going to fire straight through the castle grounds at the enemy. You do see Arty trying this trick in the current game at the moment. They will go over to the west corner. There's a little island or a little spot across the river where you can go. Can't do that on this map, but you can certainly do it in the new map. Rounds out in the KV4. Yep, it landed alongside him for 501 hit points. Now KVS is using the 8-inch howitzer, which is 203mm, capable of 1050 alpha, penetrating 52mm of armour. Lining up another shot to splash the KV4, but if he's silly enough to move into the direct line, he'll take one right in the face, or in the mush as we call it in Britain. Yes, he's trying to poke that corner. We're almost ready to go. Rounds out. Yep, he took it right in the front. No doubt about that. Well, it looks like the Wizzy 111 has actually gone down to try and spot what's on the magic bush, and there's a bunch of enemy tanks down there, including an ISU 152, an M40M43 Liberté, and a Löwe. It's a tier 8 game with only tier 8 tanks in it. Okay, it's almost loaded. That Liberté is safe for the moment, but only just. If he moves over slightly to the left, he will get taken out. Oh, they might get a double one here. Can he? Yes, he did. Damage both. Hit the Löwe. Damage the M4 Liberté. So it looks like it was a very good decision to actually come over this side of the map for KVS, because he's got plenty of targets to aim at. They're more spread out on the other side, circling around that hill where nowadays we've got the windmill. Almost loaded. He might try for a shot on the ISU 152K. Or it's not the K actually, it's the ISU 152. No sign of him, so he might switch to the super pushing. And he's got a line, he's got a red line, which indicates he's breaking the line of flight, but there comes the ISU again. He will go for that. Yep, and he gets the kill. So that's his first kill. Standard reload for the M40M43 is 44.1 seconds with the 8-inch howitzer. Again, I can't give you the exact time that KVS has got because we're not using mods. Not on this client, I'm afraid. We didn't keep a version with mods. We do that now, actually. We have to try and keep copies with and without mods so that we can show the battle either way. He's loaded, but there's no targets in sight. The enemy is doing well on the other side of the map, I'm afraid. We've only got a Borsig over on the other side of the river. Everyone else has been killed off. And there's 3 enemy tanks over there. A Scorpion, a Heavy, I don't know, I can't see it at the moment. Oh, that round actually was unfortunately wasted. The Löwe's trying to hug the wall to stop him being destroyed. And looks like the Batchat 12 ton on the enemy side, on the east side of the map, has got the better of the Borsig, or at least he's forcing the Borsig back. And because it's a light tank, he'll be able to circle him. Oh, now that's interesting. The Borsig took down the Batchat, but he got killed the next second by the Scorpion G. So the Scorpion G is much further north than is indicated on the map. Rounds out in the liver. Direct hit right in the face. 234. Now you can see the Black Dog, the M4190GF, was using the magic bush. He was popping up there to have a look, popping back down. Still trying to get a shot on the Super Pershing. We've only got 10 rounds left, but there's still 9 minutes left on the game. Scores are even, so it's anybody's game still, but the enemy does have control of the entire east side of the map. Well, that landed right next door to where the Super Pershing was, and I think he has lost some hit points. Appears the GW Tiger P suddenly realised he's in danger and he's pulling back as quickly as he can, but he's not a very fast Arty, and the IS-3 might spot him and take him out, so I am a bit concerned about him. But we've got a group of tanks moving to the river's edge to block the enemy from coming across to the cap. Got the Lever in sight. We keep getting a red line every now and then, so there must be a tower on the castle that's blocking our line of sight. But he managed to get the shell past that tower and hit the Lever again. There's the Super Pershing. He's right for killing now because he just took a round from one of our teammates. I had the suspicion it might have been the Wizzy that actually got a shot on him, and yes, the Wizzy did kill him. So he did have the line of sight on him. These guys, they're hovering at the corner. And we've now got a Yank Tiger 88, the premium one. Direct hit right in the face of the 320. He's racking up the damage, 2.5k already. The others are saying that well, I think they're trying to indicate to the Arty, focus on the Scorpion G. Now I think at this moment KVS is putting all of his attention on these enemy tanks, stopping them from moving any further forward. He could get a kill here. Yep, that's his second. 6 rounds left and the game's got 6 minutes to go. Scores still even, 6 left on either side. The enemy's got more heavies than we have. Of course, one of their heavies is over the other side of the river. That's the IS-3. It's the Lever and the AMX M449 Liberté that they've got on this side of the map. And we just lost our T-34. Got sniped by the M41 Black Dog. Rounds out. Oh, another hit, but it's not enough to kill the Liberté. Now, a lot of people will remember when the Erlenberg map was the old version of it, that you ended up sometimes trying to defend this corner against all comers. Made the game fairly interesting towards the end because it was very difficult to kill all the enemy because there were so many ridge lines that they could hide over and use their gun depression to try and stop you from taking them. Okay, come on. The Lever's moving forward. Can we get a shot? Rounds out. Yes! Direct hit on the Lever. Didn't kill him, but it certainly must have shook him up. The Black Dog's trying to get shots on the Wizzy, and that was a shot there from the GW Tiger P, who's aiming in this direction now. The IS-3 is actually trying to join his teammates. He's crossed the river and he's coming over to join his teammates on the castle. Well, the Lever and the M4 Liberté are forming a line, but again, I don't think that's going to help them because KVS will just hit them. And he's just killed the Liberté. So it's 3 kills now, but he's only got 3 rounds left and there's 5 enemies still in the game. But at least now it's a fair fight because there's 5 on our team as well. Yeah, KVS is putting it in chat. 3 kills. Yeah, I'll get some more. One big hit on the lure, he could take that guy out. The enemy's just lost their IS-3. Okay, where are you, Mr. Lurver? Unfortunately, we've just lost the Wizzy. He was spotting and he got taken out by the Black Dog. But the T-44 is going after the Black Dog with a vengeance. So it's 4 left on either side. The Black Dog's going through the castle grounds. There's the Lurver dialing in. Will he make the mistake? Rounds out. Yes! 4 kills. 2 rounds left. 3 enemies. Scorpion's still the other side of the river. We've still got the T-44. We've now got a 1 tank advantage. And it looks like the Black Dog has run away, but I don't think he has. He may just be waiting in cover for the T-44 to turn up. The Lorraine 40 ton is staying near the cap and he's spotted the Scorpion. And at this moment, KVS has decided, yeah, that Scorpion's a much bigger threat. And the Tiger is hiding on the edge of the river and he does get derped by the Scorpion. Come on, KVS, get around into this guy. Lines it up, rounds out. Oh, yes, kills the Scorpion G with 1 shot. I think the Lorraine 40 ton hit him just at the same moment that he hit him, but he got the kill. So that's 5 kills now and he's got 1 round left with 2 enemies alive. The SU-14-2 and the Black Dog. This is going right down to the wire. 2 minutes 9 seconds left. That GW Tiger did do a good job. He was holding the enemy off on that side. Didn't get any kills, but he did put up a good effort. Now he doesn't want to go above the ridgeline because that M41 Black Dog could be waiting for him to pop his head up so he can blow it off. Remember, he's got a 90mm gun. It's quite a slow gun, but it's reasonably accurate. It's got good penetration on the HE rounds. Okay, T-44's down at the enemy cap area. This is a standard game. There's the SU-14-2. He's been spotted. And so is the Black Dog. The Black Dog goes down. And the SU-14-2 is trying to fend off the T-44. KVS fires. Kills! He got him! The last one. He gets a top gun. Kills the last enemy with his last round and wins the game. Right down to the last minute hooter. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats for both games. And here's the end of battle results for the game. And in the first game, the Object 261 on Sand River, Cybro managed to get second class tanker in that game. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 12. He got a Faden's medal. He took out the last enemy, the GW E100, with his last shot right at the end. And he also got the Confederate medal for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. Let's have a look at the team score and see where he stands. Well, didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the ST1 on his team with 4,517 hit points. But he got the third highest damage because the E100 managed 4,341 in second place. And he got third place with 3,587 hit points. When it came to kills, it was shared between the Type 5 Heavy and the Tortoise and the 252U. They all got 3 kills each, while Cybro managed to get 2 and nobody else managed to get more than 1, and in fact quite a few got nothing at all. When it came to base XP, it was the ST1 who did the best with 1,082. 962 went to the 252U, 893 to the Type 5 Heavy, and then we got Cybro with 802 in 4th place. He fired all 18 rounds of ammunition, got 11 direct hits and 11 penetrations. Yes, there was a lot more penetrations back in the first days of stun. You're still getting pens on the enemy. We don't get pens so often nowadays. In fact, it's very rare. In fact, very rare for the Object 261 to get a pen because it's only 18 centimeters. 11 splash as well, damage of 3,587 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed, and 1,905 hit points of stun assist off 20 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 60,803 credits, but he did fire a lot of premium ammo in that game. He ended up with a loss of 937 credits, but I think he'll take that and the Fadens quite happily. 1,203 XP, and there was no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. So I think what we can take away from that game is that, yes, there were a lot more penetrations, and Wargaming silently nerfed the Object 261, so now you don't get those penetrations anymore. But he did hit some targets which did have very thin armor, but most of the time he was hitting very hard objects, but he was still getting penetrations on them. So it's funny, isn't it, the way that they say that they didn't nerf Arty silently, but they did in fact, because we just don't get the penetrations anymore. Let's have a look at the second battle, and if you remember, that's the one on Erlenberg. KVS2015 in the M40M43, he got an ace tanker in that game. You've got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, got 22. A Gauze medal for doing more damage than 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. A Fadens medal for killing the last enemy with the last round in his magazine. A Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. And he also got the High Caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall. Very, very satisfying game. Not just the fact that it was 6 kills, but the fact that he managed to get so much damage to get an ace tanker as well as Fadens and the Gauze. Let's have a look at the team score. Highest damage, 5,021 hit points. You rarely see an M40M43 get that level of damage in today's game. Especially even when they're playing against tier 8s. It's very, very unusual. The second highest damage was the IS-3 on the enemy team, 2,722, and 2,242 went to that Lurver who was hovering on that corner. When it came to kills, he got the highest number of those with 6. 4 kills went to the IS-3, and 3 kills went to that Scorpion that he took out with 1 shot. When it came to base XP, he's got the top in that one as well. So top in all 3 columns, 1,308 base experience points, 1,098 went to the Wizzy 111, and 880 went to the GW Tiger P. You can see he was working hard. 2,108 hit points. He didn't get any kills, but he was doing damage to the enemy and held the line. That's Durus 181. We can see that KVS fired 16 shots, all 16 rounds of ammunition. 12 direct hits, 12 penetrations, and 8 splash. Again, lots of penetrations, but you don't see those so often nowadays. 5,021 hit points of damage, all of it done at more than 300 meters. Damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 6, and did 468 hit points of stun assist off 14 stuns. On a free-to-play account, he earned 35,928 credits, and after resupply of ammunition, and even though he fired a few premium rounds, he still managed to get 6,008 credits profit. 1,308 base XP, and there was no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. But I think that was a more satisfying game because it was really going down to the wire, and the enemy was tenaciously holding on to most of the map, whilst our guys was trying to stop them coming over the river into our cap area. It was KVS and the other tanks, including that Wizzy 111, who were desperately trying to stop them coming up from the south. But it all worked out okay in the end, and they killed all the enemy team with only 1 minute to spare. So I hope you enjoyed both of those replays. 2 really good battles, again with Arty getting a Fadens medal. Very unlikely to happen in the future. Very unlikely to see any Arty games where you get the High Caliber and a Gauze medal for that matter, because after Wargaming makes the changes to client 1.13, it'll be very difficult for Arty to make that much damage in the game because all of their shells will have reduced damage. Even the armor piercing ones, which should be doing the same damage as armor piercing tanks, are not going to be doing that level because they're going to be doing much reduced value. A 203mm shell out of an M40 is only going to, or an M53, M55 is only going to do 500 hit points of damage, whereas the same or a similar caliber shell out of a T30 will do 750, much more, and it's a smaller shell. So you've got to ask yourself, why is Wargaming doing that? Because they want to neuter Arty, and the only way to neuter Arty is to make them incapable of doing damage to the enemy. So there you have it. This is the whole point of why I'm doing these replays, to show you the difference between the old Arty, which did do damage, and the new Arty, which will do nothing at all, be totally incapable, nobody will want to play it in the end, and of course that then satisfies the whining tank drivers who hate Arty because they just don't like getting hit. But of course when they don't get hit, they'll go hull down, the HE will have no effect, and the games will become stalemates. And then when they call on Arty to try and help them, there won't be any Arty there, because Arty will just refuse, or they'll be incapable of doing any giving any help to their tank drivers. So there you go. Wargaming, if you make mistakes, you better not. You better be careful, because you are going to lose this game. You're going to lose players, and it's going to become a boring game because it'll always be stalemate after stalemate, draw after draw, and it'll all be your fault because you neutered Arty. I hope you enjoyed those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.